This is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today I have a very special treat for you. Today we're going to go into the Whole Foods and check out the living and raw food section in the Whole Foods store. Many natural food stores now are getting a living and raw food section with raw foods packaged products that, many people think are really good because now they could have a wider variety of things to eat. So let's go check out the Whole Foods. We're going to check out the living and raw food section, and I'm going to give my commentary based on my 15 years of leading a healthy living and raw foods diet, as well as we're going to check out the living and raw food bar section, and also the new thing that Whole Foods is doing and they're educating consumers about is what's called the ANDI score. It's ANDI, and basically they're teaching people about the nutrient densities of the foods that they're selling in their store. And guess what? Most of the top 30 foods are living and raw foods by nature. So we're going to go in there, we're going to learn more about the ANDI score and the living and raw food section, and I'm going to teach you the best foods to eat out of the living and raw food section. We're here at my local Whole Foods. They got this cool raw food section now and has all these raw food products and packages and things like, oh wow, man, we got raw tortillas now, or raw sticks, or you know what, but one of the talks I give is titled "Just Because It's Raw Doesn't Mean It's Healthy." So if you could think you could substitute your Ritz crackers and your Triscuits for now all these raw dehydrated crackers, well, you can, and it is probably healthier. But we don't want to get distracted from the real purpose of eating raw foods, and that's actually right across the way, the produce section. We want to be eating fresh fruits and fresh vegetables as the majority of our raw foods diet. And of course, in a pinch, some things that are packaged and dehydrated are pretty good, as long as they're whole foods, and that means foods that are minimally processed. Some of these foods, like, do you know how they make organic agave powder? This is so far from the real product, it's insane. Or even organic tornado raw cane sugar. Even though this product says raw, it does not meet the definition of raw foods. It has been heated hotter than 118 degrees. So there's many different things. The newest products now are the raw coconut vinegar and raw coconut aminos. Of course, I'm not going to get into agave nectar. Check my other videos on agave. I'm not a big fan of agave at all. I think honey is a better sweetener than agave, but what's a better sweetener than even honey? Well, we could just turn around and look over here. How about some whole fruits? Fruits are the best sweeteners on earth, with the sugar, the fiber, the antioxidants in the package that nature had intended for us. So what are some of the better raw food treats over in the raw food section? Well, I would definitely say go for the organic or dried fruits. So here's just some wild organic sun-dried mulberries. Those are definitely better than any kinds of granolas, such as the Living Intentions granola, which may be using non-raw ingredients and may be heated too hot. So definitely the raw whole fruits and whole vegetables that are dried, or even some of the raw nuts, or seeds, I think are really good. When they start adding cacao or start fractionating foods, I don't think it's too good. Cacao is a big superfood now, and I'm not a big fan of cacao. I think it's a drug, and actually they're very high in fat. Acai powder could make a great addition to your smoothie once in a while, because after all, it is just powdered dried fruit, and that's what we want to be eating, is fruit. We're here in the energy bar or sports bar section, and of course they have raw food bars, so let's go take a look at a couple of them. So the lower bars are one of the cleanest bars, containing mostly only dried fruits and nuts in most cases, but in some cases they may have lemon flavoring and lemon juice concentrates, and the peanut ones are not raw, and the almonds they use are pasteurized almonds. So if it says almonds in there, it's been pasteurized, so you're eating cooked if you're eating lower bars. And most cashews that are used in many raw food bars are not really raw. We have the Raw Revolution, and in my opinion, the Raw Revolution are the worst raw food bars if you're going to buy a bar. And why do I say that? Well, the number 1 and 2 ingredients on most of these are agave and cashews, which are, agave is really not good for us, and it's really not raw from my research. And the cashews are not too good for us either, in my opinion. Then of course there's different raw food bars. At least this one says, organic food bar, and it'll tell you on the back, it'll say, or on the front right there, it says 80% raw. And so, you know, got to give them props. At least they're saying, you know, this one says 90% raw. This is the Organic Food Bar Active Greens. So I prefer bars that have just dates and nuts without any agave or any additional sweeteners. But you know what? Even aside from all these different raw bars, and you know, they have these pure organic, says raw fruit and nut bar. But if we check the ingredients on the back, organic dates, organic apples, organic agave nectar, organic walnuts, organic cashews, organic almonds, organic rice protein concentrate. Come on, that's not raw. Organic cinnamon, and that's all. So they might be better than, you know, Akashi Go Lean bar, but you know what? They're not as good as eating some whole fresh fruit for your snacks. And you know, fresh fruit you could pack in your purse, you could pack in your pockets, you could put anywhere in your briefcase, you could take them with you, you could leave some in the car. Apples and oranges, bananas, and other fresh fruits are the best snack food on a raw foods diet, not these bars. Whole Foods, they introduced what's called the ANDI score, ANDI. Go ahead and show you the sign here. And what is an ANDI score? ANDI stands for Aggregate Nutrient Density Index. An ANDI score shows the nutrient density of a food on a scale from 1 to 1,000 based on nutrient content. ANDI scores are calculated by evaluating a range of micronutrients including vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and antioxidant capacities. The higher the concentration of these elements in a food per calorie, the higher the score. For instance, kale, a dark leafy green, scores 1,000 while soda scores 1. So you want to eat high foods on the ANDI score, but also vary the foods that you're eating. So for example, collard, mustard greens, and turnip greens are 1,000. Kale is 1,000. Watercress is 1,000. Bok choy is 824. Spinach is 739. Broccoli rab is 715. Chinese and Napa cabbage is 704. Brussels sprouts are 672. Swiss chard is 670. Arugula 559. Cabbage 481. Romaine lettuce 389, broccoli 376, red pepper 366, carrot juice is 344. So it says here, use this top 30 list to find the most nutrient dense foods throughout the store. For improved health, include as many of these foods in your diet as possible. And these are the ANDI top 30 superfoods. So superfoods are really whole foods that are in the whole produce section and come whole in the form of fresh fruits and vegetables and not in packages, jars, or bottles. So you want to eat high on the ANDI list, as high as possible, but more importantly, you also want to rotate your food. So just because on the ANDI score, kale scores the highest, don't eat kale every night. Switch off, eat kale some nights and eat some, you know, broccoli the following night and lettuce the following night. And you always want to get a lot of diet rotation and eat different foods, because although these foods are very nutrient dense, if you do concentrate what you're eating to this list, you're going to miss out on many different nutrients that are available in many different foods. So always eat a variety, but make sure you get some of these foods in every day of the week. So it's very important to get the freshest and highest quality foods as possible. So I do that by growing my own. So it's always good, better, best. So grow your own's the best, farmer's market next best, then maybe like a Whole Foods or natural food store, and then maybe going down to the grocery store as the final rung on the ladder. If you could do that, you're going to be, you know, doing the best you can, and that's what it's all about, doing the best you can. Eat the highest quality food you can, so you could be the healthiest that you can. So this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and keep eating your fruits and vegetables.